Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Customizing Culture, the Heat Press Nation podcast. My name is Jared Barbosa. I'm your host, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Lauren Meystedt of 3 Pairs of Ears. Lauren, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm so glad you're able to carve out some time to join us here for the podcast.
Me too. I'm so excited to be here. A little nervous, but so excited.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. Yeah, we're going to have a good time today. So I know who you are. For the people who may be new to 3 Pairs of Ears, why don't you give us a little bit of background about yourself and kind of just like an overview of what is 3 Pairs of Ears?
Yeah, for sure. So I started 3 Pairs of Ears when I started it. So first of all, 3 Pairs of Ears is, it stands for me and my 2 kids. We are annual pass holders of the Disneyland Resort.
Nice.
And so when I started my social media account on Instagram, I started just by like kind of like showing our daily routine at Disneyland. We go like every Wednesday. So that's what 3 Pairs of Ears stands for. I get that question all the time. People are like, is it 3 pairs? Is it 3 fears? 3 pairs of fears? And I'm like, it's 3 pairs.
Oh, fears.
Yeah, 3 pairs of ears. So it's me and my kiddos. It's not 4 pairs of ears because my husband is not like a theme park person. Like he would literally rather do anything else than go.
Okay, so it's not, because I was curious about that when I read your bio.
Yeah.
I thought he was not a Disney person. But he's just not a theme park person.
Not a theme park person or a Disney. I mean, he likes Star Wars. He likes Marvels. Like he'll watch the stuff with us. He totally is supportive of this thing that I've created with my fascination of Disneyland. But it is just not his things. He's not a fan of roller coasters. He hates long lines. He hates crowd. It's just not his jam.
He's a chill dude.
So he loves that's our thing. But I get him there like at the Oogie Boogie Bash every year because it's like limited capacity. It's like 5 hours long.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like the one time of year that he like will go and attend, but totally fine. So that's like where the name comes from. Mm-hmm. And then in late 2019, it kind of switched gears from me just showing like Disneyland and taking with my kids, and it kind of turned into a business. So how that happened was I signed up to do the Chalk Walk, which Chalk is the Children's Hospital of Orange County here in Orange County, California. And so they do a annual walk through Disneyland, and you like sign up for it, and then you like raise money, and then you get up really early, and you literally do, I don't know what the distance is, but it's like a 5K or something through like Disneyland and California Adventure. And it's like really early in the morning. It's totally empty. There's like characters out.
Well, it's got to be pretty cool.
It's really,
just on its own. That sounds really interesting.
So Chalk and Disneyland team up to do it, and then all the money goes towards Chalk, which is helping like sick kids of like, you know, the local area. So it's like so great. And so my son had a lot of digestive issues when he was born, and so we spent a lot of time at Chalk. And so I was just super thankful. Nothing like majorly serious, but we just spent a lot of time there, and the doctors were so nice and they were so wonderful. And so I was like, I want to try to give back. So I signed up for the Chalk Walk, and I was like, I was like, let's try to like raise $100. Like, I'm like, I don't know realistically how much I can raise, but I'm like, we'll start like with a realistic
reasonable
goal. Yeah. And so I had seen people on just social media taking like the Starbucks cold cups and decorating them with vinyl. And so I was like, I can do that. Like, that's what every person that like is into crafting is like, oh, I can do that, you know?
That's the poison of every last crafter is that thought. I could do that. I go through the mall.
Yes.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Or I can do that myself. It's going to cost me $500 instead of just paying $30 to buy it, but I can just do it myself, you know? And so I had already had a Cricut. I had all this stuff. I had some I had just been playing with it. And so I was like, I'm just going to try it and see maybe if I can like sell these to like raise money for Chalk. So I made a couple for myself first, and I like loved the process of it. And so I was like, okay. So I just like put on my personal social media accounts and to friends and family and was like, hey, I'm like making these cups with designs on them. I'm just trying to raise money for Chalk. Like, I'm going to sell them for $20 a piece. Like, let me know if you want one. And like I said, I wanted to sell 5 and raise $100. So that's kind of what my goal was. So I ended up raising over $1,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You 10X.
I was super excited, and people like loved them, and it felt so good to like I gave all of that money to Chalk, and that like felt so amazing to have that thing where I could just like give back to them. So a few months went by, and I kind of just like went back to like my normal routine of being a mom, and I had people reach out to me, and they were like, hey, like are you still making cups? And I was like, I mean, the Chalk Walk's over, so full disclosure, if you pay me for a cup, like I'm gonna keep the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was like, I can definitely make them. So I kind of had some orders coming around the holiday time.
Okay. Nice.
And so after the holidays ended,
what year was this? I'm sorry.
This was late 2019.
Oh, so not even that long ago.
Not even that long ago.
Nice,
so it was
okay.
like the chalk walk usually happens in August. So they're actually getting ready to do another one. So if you want to sign up, if you're in Orange County, you could do another one. It's super great. 10 out of 10 recommend. But 2020 started, and I kind of like started. I started an Etsy shop. Like I'd already had one, like just doing like stickers and stuff.
So now was this 2020 pre-pandemic?
This is pre-pandemic. This is like January. Like I'm like making cups and putting them on there, and I may be selling like 1 or 2 a month. I mean, it was slow, and I was just like, but I mean, it was just something that was mine outside of being a mom. You know, like when you become a mom, that's your entire identity.
Yeah.
And I needed something for me that was Lauren, and that wasn't mom.
Were you a full-time mom at the time?
I was a full-time mom at the time. And I mean, I love being a mom and I love my kids, but it becomes your entire identity.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like it really does. And then you just, you kind of lose a little piece of yourself because it's like, I'm fully responsible for keeping tiny people alive. And that's a full-time job in itself. But this was just something that I did during nap times, during down times, that it was just something that was just mine. It was just Lauren, nothing else. So fast forward to March of 2020 when the world shut down. All of a sudden we had a lot of free time to do, like what did we do? And so I started putting myself more out there on social media. I started making like time-lapse videos with just sound over them, songs over them, making cups. And it just slowly started growing.
Nice. So, and then just kind of to recap. So up until then, 3 Pairs of Ears, it wasn't even a business then.
It was not a business.
It was just kind of like an extension of your personality, would you say?
It was. It was just, my husband and I both grew up in Missouri. And so we moved to Southern California in 2000.
Walt's hometown, home state. Okay.
Yeah. So we moved to Southern California in November of 2016.
Okay.
And I went to Disneyland for the first time in June of 2016. Like when we started.
So that's funny to me because I grew up going to Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
So we had passes. I think I was like 10 or 12 when we got our first season pass. And then realistically, like for every 1 out of every 3 years, we would get a pass. So some years we did, some years we didn't, right?
Yeah.
I grew up going to the park even before passes, right?
Yeah.
And so like I'm a Disney adult, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think that's very interesting because most of the people out here in Southern California, we grew up in the parks.
Yeah.
But you didn't grow up in the parks.
I didn't grow up in the parks.
So it was like a revelation, like when you first went, you're like, whoa.
It was. So right out of college, I worked at a Disney store.
Oh, okay.
Like I couldn't get a regular job. And so it was just, I had student loans that I had to start paying. Like they gave you 6 months and I was like, well, the 6 months is up and I have to start paying these off. And so I worked for Shop Disney. And it was like super fun. But also I was like, I have no, like I can tell you about movies, but I don't know anything about the parks. Like it wasn't in our budget growing up to like go and visit Walt Disney World or Disneyland to like take those like amazing vacations. And so when my husband, when we decided to move to Southern California, he was like, oh yeah, like Disneyland's like really close. And I was like, how close? And he was like 25 minutes. And I was like, okay.
There you go.
And so he always jokes. He was like, if I would have known what would have happened moving us here, he's like, I kind of have. He's like, I'm not saying I wouldn't have done it. He's like, but I literally didn't know it was going to turn into your entire personality.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So I went for just my husband and I went. Like my daughter was 1 at the time, and we left her with my mother-in-law, and we came to look at houses, and we came to Disneyland, and I loved it. And so we moved in November, and about 2 weeks after living here, I bought an annual pass. And I started taking my daughter all the time. So, so I didn't grow up with it, but when 3 Pairs of Ears started, it was just my way of being like, I didn't grow up here. I don't know Disneyland front and back, but this is kind of from someone who's coming for the first time. These are the kind of things that I noticed or that were helpful for me. Not, I feel like a lot of Disney influencers, they've lived here their whole life. They've grown up going to parks their whole life. And I feel like I had a different experience because I'm now an adult and I've never done it before. And so this is what I found easier. These were little tips and tricks, but I'm like, everybody was doing that. So it's like nothing really came of it, Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. So now because 3 Pairs of Ears, again, it sounds to me it's kind of like an extension of you now.
Yeah.
So you have a really deep personal connection with the brand because it's you, of course.
Yeah.
With the product because it's you. Question, this is just me kind of curious here. Yeah. Like, do you feel that let's say you had started a different business where you didn't have such a close connection to the product?
Yeah.
Do you think you'd be as passionate about it as you are about 3 Pairs of Ears?
It's hard to say. just because I feel like I am, like you said, I am passionate about it because it's a piece of me. Like it's just me. I don't have any other employees. Like
so
it's just me.
You're okay. So I'm solopreneur.
I know. So I'm married. So in a sense, I have my husband is there. You know
Do you ever ring him in like, hey, you're cutting stuff today?
No. Absolutely not in that sense, but he is very like his whole family are entrepreneurs. He is an entrepreneur, so he is very like business. He's super smart. Like so I go to him when I have like business questions or I'm like I don't know how to go about this thing. So he's that part of it for me. You know, that we can bounce ideas off each other, or how do you think I should go about saying this, or how do you think I should approach this, you know, certain things that way. But no, he is, when it comes to like machines and building, like that is not his jam like at all. So no, so nice. I mean, yeah, not even like packing a box. And I'll be like, I'll just do it myself. It's okay. Like I love you, but no.
When your kids are of age, are you gonna bring them in, help package orders, or do you like that it's your thing? I
mean, I like that it's my thing. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it'd be great to have help. But I like it done a certain way. It's like it's a plus and a minus, you know. But
yeah. I can't fold any of my wife's clothes. They have to be a certain way.
Yeah. So I mean, I just, and I have a routine, and sometimes it's just easier for me to just do it myself. So I'm not saying that I would never.
Totally understand.
If I ever got to the point where I had to have people, like I'm totally open to like hiring people to like help me. But I like that it's mine, you know. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So you're really killing it in the social media game.
Thank you.
You're now, I forget the exact. Actually, why don't you tell us?
Okay.
On Instagram, what's your follow count on Instagram?
Full count on Instagram is 135,000.
Nice. Yeah. Yes. Okay, and then your TikTok too.
TikTok too. TikTok is at 389, 388.
You have a few videos on TikTok that are way over 1 million views.
I have one that's at 19 million. 19. Which is insane.
That's mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing to me too. It's like it's just like I laugh and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like what?
So I have a question. So did you set? Well, I guess we kind of answered that. You set off just starting an account just as an expression. You just love it, right?
Yeah.
Now, at what point did you say, hey, I think I can leverage this account to kind of help the business, or did it just kind of flow naturally? Like what was the thought kind of going into incorporating your business into the account?
Yeah. So, I started on Instagram, and I was solely on Instagram until, I had a TikTok account, like I guess when TikTok blew up, but I wasn't posting anything. It was just, I would just get on there and scroll and and it was like downtime, right? So I was solely on Instagram all of 2020, all of 2021, all of 2022.
Wait. Sorry. So you're saying you've only had your TikTok for what, not even a year?
I started posting regularly on TikTok in January of 2023.
Okay, don't take this the wrong way, but I kind of hate you now.
I know. I'm like,
that's amazing, though.
I hate even talking about it because I don't want it to come off that it just happened overnight. I mean, it kind of did, but everything that I did in 2020, 2021, 2022 helped me, I think, do what I did on TikTok in 2023. If that makes sense.
Sure.
Everything that I learned, just creating products, learning how to edit videos. I didn't know any of that when I started in 2020. I learned all of that along the way.
Yeah. Can you kind of expand that a little bit more? Because I think what a lot of people, myself included, people who don't understand TikTok and how it works, they think, oh, well, you just throw stuff at it. You just kind of just spew it out, and then some people get lucky, some people don't.
Yeah.
No, but there's thought. There's intelligence that goes into producing content for TikTok, right?
For sure. So before I started posting on TikTok, I had always done time-lapse videos. So like I sat up my camera, like just my phone, set it to time-lapse mode and created a cup. And then at the very end, I would go off a time-lapse and I would just, show the cup, like do a 360 of it type of thing. And I put a song with it that kind of went with whatever I was creating. And that's what I did. And it was great 2020, it was great 2021, and then 2022, it kind of became stagnant.
Okay.
Like I wasn't growing as a company. I wasn't losing followers, but I wasn't gaining followers. I was I was stuck in just and so I was like, maybe I need to switch up my content. Maybe I need to do something else. So I waited until the holiday season was over because that's the craziest season for any small shop owner.
For any shop owner, for any mom.
I know, for just anybody in general. It's just nuts. So January is a lull for all shops. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you are. The holidays just ended. Nobody's spending money. You're getting ready to start filing your taxes. It's just nobody's spending, and that's how it always is. And so I woke up one morning and I told my husband, I was like, I'm gonna switch it up. I was like, I'm going to try something different this year and see how it goes. I was like, and if I don't continue growing, then maybe I re-advise what I'm doing.
Okay. So you kind of, not necessarily an ultimatum, but you put yourself on a path of like intentionality.
Well, I'm just like, this is my full-time job now. And so I'm working this full-time job and I'm trying to take care of my kids and I'm be a good mom, be a good wife, do all of these things. And I wasn't getting burnt out, but I was kind of like feeling, I didn't like who I was becoming, that being like that stressed out person all the time. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I'm working so hard and I'm not growing. So why am I stressing myself out so much for this if I'm not continuing to get better, I guess, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
You know? Yeah. And so I love ASMR videos.
Yeah.
I love them. I love watching people like
have split affection for them.
I know, right? Well, some of them, I don't want to like listen to someone like eat a pickle. Like
okay, thank you.
That one,
okay.
or like the lip smacking, like that's not for me. Okay. But I'm like watching people like restock their pantries or like the snack drawer in their fridge. And I'm like, why is this so satisfying?
Okay.
Like, I don't know why, but I like it.
And then I love when I discovered your videos because all your sounds, those are the sounds of my life.
Yes.
Of cutting and scraping. And so I'm like, oh, it had this weird appeal to me. So I don't know if it's weird, but I liked it.
And so I was like, I didn't really know of anybody. So I don't know his handle, but I follow him and he makes cards like out of cardstock.
Okay.
I can't think of his name. So he's the only person that I knew at the time in January that was doing any sort of like crafting type stuff with an ASMR feel to it. Like I didn't see that. Maybe I didn't see it anywhere, but I was like, I don't feel like anybody's doing what I'm doing in the form of ASMR.
Right, yeah.
And there's a reason why, because it takes forever.
That's what it is.
I'm like, I get it now. I understand why people aren't doing this. And so I like got up that morning and I told my husband, hey, this is like what I'm thinking. This is what I'm going to do. And he was like, I was thinking the same thing. So when we tell this story, he likes to think that it was his idea. Aaron, it wasn't your idea. It was my idea. And so
hey, great minds think alike.
I know,
man.
totally. I'm like, we've been married. It'll be 10 years this year that we've been married, and we've been together 15 years. And so I'm like, yeah, you start to be the same person after a while.
Yeah. That's funny.
But he's like, okay. And so I was like, I'm gonna need like silence. So I was like, wait till the kids were at school. I like closed my door and I just started doing it. And it took me, I don't know how long the first video took me to just film. It took forever though. Like just changing the angles, making sure I could actually hear it. Like I just use my iPhone to film. I don't use any other special cameras. I don't use any special microphones.
So see, now you're getting the dagger. Not only have you driven it into my heart, but you're twisting it by telling me that you don't have expensive gear. You're just using your phone.
My most expensive thing is the tripod that I use. And it was like $130.
I think I laugh because there's some channels that they're dropping, like 10, 20 grand into their setup and they would kill for 19 million views on a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. I love it. Honestly, I love it.
Yeah. I have a couple lights, and they were from Amazon. My husband got them for me for Christmas, actually.
Nice.
This is before I was going to do ASMR. I just needed better lighting in my office, and so I have some softbox lights, my tripod, and my phone, and that's it.
There you go.
I have one of those little clip-on microphones, and I use it when I do voiceovers. But other than that, that's it. I'm not using.
Yeah, see, I love that because you can get stuff done without dropping a ton of money.
Yeah.
And if I could shamelessly plug HPN, I think the reason why I'm vibing so hard with that is because I've been here 7 years. Okay. Right. I'm here because I want to be. I love this company. Because we do, and again, shameless plug, forgive me guys, but like one of the big things that we do is we offer like quality, like heat presses and stuff that are attainable. Before the company started before I got here. Before it was like you had like the garbage Amazon or the $2,000 Hotronix. There wasn't a lot of midway, and so you had a lot of people. Even today, like I'll take phone calls and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's just this mentality like, hey, I have to spend 10 grand to get something done.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't.
You don't.
You really don't.
You really don't.
Yeah. So I love hearing hearing this because like part of me is mad because I'm trying to convince my wife to let me, drop another grand on camera. But
she's
at the same time.
No, you're not. Did you hear what Lauren said today? No, you're not.
Turn this up. Yeah, for real. But legit, I love it because I fully believe like do what you can with what you got.
I do too.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like there's no point in spending money. It's so hard to make the money. Why spend it unless you absolutely have to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, so then once I made the video, I was like, well, now how do I edit the video?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Right,
So that was so I have a degree in commercial photography. So I already I already like cameras and angles, like those kinds of things like I'm familiar with, but video editing and photography editing are very different.
Yes.
So I had already been using like the InShot app.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had already had it downloaded and I would use it to do like other things through my phone. But I was like, let me see if I can edit videos on it or if I need to go a different route and download or buy some like nicer, better program. Like, you know, I was learning this all in January. Like I was just learning it as I go.
Yeah, and it's July right now. So we're talking months, guys. We're talking months to 19 million.
It seems light years away, honestly. It seems like it was so long ago.
Yeah.
But I just added them all. So I don't take anything and put it into my computer. I just do it all on my phone.
Dagger twist.
I edit it all on my iPhone.
Okay, then just hurt me a little more. How much did you spend on that app?
$20-$30.
Okay,
I think.
Okay. If you would have said you did it all on a free app, I would walk out of the room right now.
Okay, so I started on a free app. I started on the free version, and then I would have to watch ads.
Yeah.
And I was like, right now, time is money, and I'm like, it was worth the $30, and it's a tax write-off. I mean, let's be real.
There we go.
So
okay, interjection. Do you tax write-off? Do you get to write off your passes? You don't have to answer that.
I do.
Because it's market research?
It's market research.
Love it.
And just the time, market research. And then sometimes I like take photos there of some things.
There we go.
So I do.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And our accountant's like totally fine with it. Like she like didn't fight us on it at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, thank you for that. Thank you so much.
I'm also a musician, so I get to write off my music here. So
yeah.
So I'm like, babe, this guitar we can write it off. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So
no, it's great. Like I
do what you can when you can.
Yeah. Totally. I'm like it sucks paying taxes. So I totally get why you have to do it.
Yes.
But it's just like anywhere that it can help. You know. So I edited that first video and I posted it, and within like an hour it had over like 10,000 views. And I like before that.
So question, sorry. Yeah. Because I have a very limited knowledge of TikTok, right? We had Chris here, he does all our TikTok. Okay, yeah. Right? So you must have hit just like a really good vein of content, like that must have been tickling something in people's brains.
I think it was. I think the fact that I think a lot of people like the ASMR style. Mm-hmm. I mean, you either love it or you hate it. You know? I just think I gave people a new way of looking at it or hearing it. Like, it's like when people like crafting. Yeah. But I gave them a new way of experiencing crafting. I think. Cool. And I think other people, they see people make cups and they kind of do it in a time lapse and they don't really realize how much goes into like layering the vinyl and how time consuming it is and how meticulous it is. And so I think giving them that really broken down version of it, people were like, oh my gosh, like this is like kind of harder than I thought it was, you know, type of
but
thing.
Also still doable at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I posted that first video, I mean, I probably had like maybe 15 or 20 videos on my TikTok account. And like I said, they were time-lapse videos or just me showing a cup with like a trending song. And I think the most I had ever had was like a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 views, like ever. I had like 300-ish followers on TikTok. And I think a lot of them were just people who had followed me on Instagram.
Okay, right.
And so at the same time, in January of 2023, I had 23,000 followers on Instagram.
Wait, so 2023 has been a big year for you. So you've grown over 100K on Insta as well.
Just on Insta.
Wow. So you truly unlocked something.
I did.
With this new style of content.
I did.
And I think what's important to note here is that that's not like accidental. Nobody accidentally trips into 100,000 followers.
No. And I mean, like, I feel like people always ask, like, was it organic? And that's a hard question to answer because, yes, like, I grew on Instagram organically the first few years. And then I think I just hit something that people really enjoyed and that made it grow very fast.
There was like a viral element introduced.
It was. Yeah. It was a viral element, and then it just kind of just grew. It snowballed effect as it kept growing. So, yes, it was organic. because I grew the same way over Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook randomly. I don't know if you guys ever talk about Facebook, but...
You know what's funny? We put so much effort into Facebook, and here, just like as a company, I've been doing a weekly Facebook live stream now for like 6 years or so. Yeah, and so we love Facebook.
Yeah, it's just I don't ever think about that in terms of social. I mean, I know it's social media. It started social media. Like, I guess MySpace technically started social media if you want to go OG. But
where we're all doing HTML in our bedrooms.
I'm like, I knew how to do code. I'm like, I can't do code now, but I'm like, as a 16-year-old, I could, and I thought I was cool because
who taught us all?
I don't think someone did.
How did we all know? I just
had free reign of the living room computer, you know, and it was just like I'm just in there doing stuff, and I'm like I had no business doing any of it.
Someone should do a study on like how did all of us teenagers figure out HTML code, because the skill is not dead now, but back then kids knew it, and now kids don't. Kids know other things now.
No, I know, totally. But I'm like, I thought I was so cool that I knew how to go in and like at the bottom of the screen when it would be like created by so-and-so, I'm like, just take that out.
Sparkly,
I'm like, remove. And I'm like, why did I have any business doing that?
That's so funny.
But same thing. So on Facebook, I mean, I had it linked to like my Instagram. So that it's really easy. You can just, when you post something on Instagram, you can auto publish it to Facebook.
Right.
So I had that on. And so, I mean, I had like a couple thousand like followers on Facebook, nothing like major. And then one day I went to my Facebook and I had all these notifications and I was like, what is going on? And I had videos that were having over 1 million views on Facebook as well. So I think my Facebook, it's over 150,000.
Wow, that's incredible.
So I'm like, between all three, it's like upwards of, I think, 700,000 or 800,000.
That's incredible.
Along, among the three.
Yeah, dude, that is so exciting to me, because there's success out there.
It
and
is.
I think if there was something that I'm getting from this right now, that I hope people are getting from this right now, is that like, look, like me, because dude, this is obviously you were working for several years on this.
Yeah.
2023, you had your big breakthrough.
Yeah.
But I think it's so important that there's still creativity out there. There's still original things that you can do.
Totally.
Like how you kind of unlock this new style of video that really hit well. Like, I think people think, oh, everything's already been done. And to a certain degree, a little bit.
For sure.
A little bit. Because like ASMR has been around for a little bit.
Yeah.
But the way you're doing it is unique.
Yeah.
And it's really striking a chord with a lot of people. And I think, sometimes it's easy to be discouraged. Like, oh, there's already so many influencers. Like, there's not enough room for me. And I'm like, no, you have it all backwards.
Yeah.
There's room for everyone.
There is room for everyone.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in community over competition.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Yes.
And so I also feel like you get out what you put in, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, if I can be helpful and like teaching people how to do stuff, not like gatekeeping certain things, you know what I mean? That I feel like that like will come back to you. And so in this, I mean, I feel like there's always room for you to grow, you know what I mean? And like I said, I was stagnant for so long. And then one morning I woke up and was like, I'm going to try something new. And I mean, it could have gone the way that it went, which is absolutely amazing, or nothing could have changed. And that's like, I don't even know if that's a 50-50 chance. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, but you don't know until you try.
You don't know unless you try it. You know what I mean? And so it was just like, I always tell people are like, what would you recommend? And I'm like, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to try new things. Put yourself in a vulnerable situation. I do not like being in front of the camera. I love that you can only see my hands.
Really? That's funny.
Just because I'm like kind of a goofball and I'm kind of like loud and I'm like, I don't know if that's for everyone. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, but for the people that it's for, they're going to love it.
They're going to love it. Yeah. But I'm like, so I love that you can just see my hands. You know what I mean? And that it's not, I don't want it to just all be about me. You know what I mean? And so, but it takes a lot to put yourself out there, but you kind of have to get past that fear. Yeah. And then just try new things and amazing things can happen.
Yes. And I love that you're a real life person.
I'm a real life person. And I have feelings. Yeah. Social media is so hard. Oh. I mean, those first few months, I was just, it got to me.
Did it? Okay.
I post consistently. I post a new ASMR video every single day, I think for 3 or 4 months. Which is a lot. I think that's another part of social media, to kind of switch gears. Sorry.
Sure.
Is that people are always like, how do you figure out the algorithm? For me, it was posting every day, posting consistently. And I tried to post around within the same 2 to 3 hours.
Okay, so if I can ask you, because I know just one video is a lot of work. To post consistently is a lot of work. So it's not like, okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What would you say is the percentage of luck versus how much hard work goes into the channel?
I mean, it's hard to put a number on it.
Is there luck, if any, or is it just?
I think you can definitely get lucky.
Okay.
I think you can have something just randomly go viral.
But you can't stay lucky, though.
You can't stay lucky.
Yes.
I think you can have that one that goes lucky, but then you have to put in the work if you want to continue to grow off of that luck.
Got it.
I feel like the luck thing is like a one and done. You know what I mean? Which that happens to a lot of people. But in order to like, if you go viral and then you want to stay viral, you have to continue to put in the work and to put in the hours to continue to grow. You can't just like have one and then do nothing else. Yeah. And then just hope that you continue to get business or your account continues to grow off of that.
Man,
if that makes sense. Yes, no, that makes,
you're kind of unlocking something here because not heat press related.
Yeah.
So my band, we had one of our Instagram reels hit 1 million views.
Okay.
Which we've never had 1 million of anything, right? No. So for us, we were like, yes, that's it. We're all gonna buy yachts and Corvettes and then it's like the next reel 1,100, and we're like, oh wait, what? But no, but we're viral now.
Yeah.
And so it took us a little while to realize, like, no, like you can get lucky, you can't stay lucky.
Yeah.
So if somebody like yourself is consistently growing and consistently getting the views, there's skill there, there's talent there.
I think so.
And I think all these little keyboard warriors, they're just too caveman minded.
I know.
They're just too.
Well, it's crazy to me how not offended, but how just it gets under people's skin, like certain things that I do. Like, heaven forbid I waste any vinyl whatsoever.
Yeah.
The very first reel that I did that went viral. I was doing a full wrap on a glass. And so instead of, anybody that works with vinyl knows that sometimes it's easier to cut a full wrap than it is to cut individual pieces and then try to evenly get them throughout the entire thing. So when I cut that first one, I cut it when everything was welded together. Like, it was a 2-layer wrap, so 2 different colors, but it was, when I cut it in the shape of the cup.
Yeah.
So when I weeded it, there was a lot of negative space that was then wasted vinyl, and people were very angry.
That's so funny because vinyl is so cheap.
It's so cheap. And I wasn't even using like the fancy schmancy like holographic vinyl, which then is like $12 a roll versus like the plain vinyl that's like $3 a roll. And when I say roll, it's like a roll's like 12 feet, 6 feet, something. You know what I mean? So it's like, but yeah, people were mad.
That's so weird.
And I'm like,
that's the part of the internet that I don't know if anyone will ever understand.
I know. I just don't get it. Yeah. So I kind of didn't have to grow a thick skin. It was, my husband was like, just don't take it so personally. And I was like, it's hard to not take it personally. Like, this is mine. Like, I made this. Like, I filmed the video. I made the cut myself. I edited the video myself. Like, every part of this is me. That I made it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it's hard to not take it personal when you put so much of your give yourself into it, you know what I mean? So I've learned to just kind of like ignore it and just kind of let it roll off. And I'm just like, I'm sorry that you're having a bad day, you know what I mean? So then I kind of started responding to people with not snark, but just a little bit of like a little sass. You know, someone was like, oh my gosh, you wasted so much vinyl. And I'm like, win some, lose some. Do you know what movie that's from?
No.
Oh, it's from My Cousin Vinny.
No, I haven't. Okay. I've been meaning to see. So I'm doing a revisit of the classics.
Oh my gosh!
I know. I'm sorry.
Like a total movie person. Like
are you? Okay.
I love movies. And I will reference. I like try to put movie quotes in whenever I can. And I like to just see if people can just like catch it.
No, I just barely saw Casablanca this year.
Actually, I haven't seen Casablanca, but I'm not that much of a movie person. But
more recently, I just saw Pulp Fiction last year.
I just saw Pulp Fiction recently.
Okay, too. so like legit like. And so I have an 11-month-old. So like in the past year, I've seen like, I can count on my hands how many movies I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I try to visit the classics. My Cousin Vinny's on there.
Yeah.
A Bronx Tale is on there.
I haven't seen that one either.
Oh yeah. So anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, so I like.
It's not a movie podcast. Sorry guys.
I know. Sorry. But I like put that out there, and then somebody was like, "I can't believe that you were just like you would come at me with that snark," and I'm like, "I can't believe you would come at me with a negative comment." Like,
right.
You know
like just like you took time out of your day to come poison this space, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like. That's the downside of social media.
Yeah.
And having your entire business on social media.
Is there a platform that you feel is nicer than the others? Is TikTok meaner than Insta, or is it kind of just people are people?
Honestly, Facebook is the meanest.
Really?
Which I think is so bizarre because Facebook, it's like your real information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
of all places on TikTok, you can be pretty anonymous.
Yeah.
You know, you can be a true keyboard warrior on TikTok because it's like you can have your profile set to private. You don't have to have a profile picture. You don't have to have anything in your bio. But I feel like on Facebook, it's like your entire life is on there for some reason.
Yeah, like your employer's listed right there. Like not everybody, but some people.
I know. So I mean, that's what I found is those people are the meanest.
That is weird.
The only good thing about Facebook is that I can respond with a GIF. Which then makes responding to comments so much better. So much better.
Yeah. Since we're kind of talking about platforms, is there a platform where you feel like you get a better return on your investment, on your efforts?
I get the most views on TikTok.
Okay. Nice.
So I've had the most videos on there, over 1 million views.
Nice.
So that one, I get the most response out of that. I feel like my followers on Instagram know me the best.
Okay.
Because that's where I started. So I have people that have followed me on there since 2020. So I feel like they're the most like loyal to me because they've been with me the longest.
Yeah.
And they're the first ones to like congratulate me on something when I post a video or like hype me up or like be excited. You know what I mean? Versus TikTok is more like entertainment. It's constantly like new followers, and since it's such a newer account, people are super jacked and excited and stuff there too. But I feel like Instagram is kind of like my safety net, you know. So that's like my comfort zone.
If you, let's say like there's somebody out there, and maybe it's not, you know, Disney related. Maybe they're following their own passions, their own thing. They're starting a new account.
Yeah.
If somebody wanted to do the same thing as you, like they're saying, like, I like her path, I'm going to kind of follow that with my own spin. So they're starting because you do a lot of drinkware. That's kind of like your thing. So they're starting new, let's say sublimation mugs, right? Because I love sublimation mugs. Yeah. New sublimation mugs, kind of their own theming. And they're also starting like a social media account to support it, to go along with it, filming the process like you. What would you recommend? Would you recommend them starting all three, Facebook, Insta, TikTok? Are you on YouTube?
I have a YouTube channel. It's slow going. I feel like it's hard to film ASMR videos and film for YouTube at the same time. Like I feel like that's a totally different thing that I have not. I haven't mastered it yet.
Got it.
I feel like I have more to learn on that. That's like 2024 vision board is to like.
You can hit 1 million there next year. You got your 1 million over here.
I know, it's a deep dive. So it's linked in my social media everywhere, and so like I have a channel and stuff. But we're working on that one.
Got it.
Yeah.
So but if you're gonna give advice to an up and comer, fresh start, like is there a specific channel you would say, hey, you go get your TikTok first, or dude, start your Insta? Like what would your advice be?
I would say do all of them.
Okay.
And just if you can do all of them at the same time, it's the easiest. You'll end up getting the same name on all platforms, so that way you're consistent. So my handle is the same on everything.
Yes.
Threads now. Like my husband was like, Threads just started. You need to go get 3 pairs of ears right now before someone else does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, you know. So I think I've posted like 3 times on there because I'm like, I
posted once. I literally did the same thing. I wanted my name.
I know.
That's it.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't even have my personal Threads. I literally only have my business one. But because looking back in 2020 when I was so focused on Instagram, I was mad at myself that I didn't dive into TikTok. I actually thought I missed my opportunity to grow on TikTok. And when I started in 2023, I was like, I think it's too late. Like,
interesting.
And I was kind of like, not scared, but I was like, I might have missed the boat.
Yeah.
You know, because so many people grew in 2020. Like, there's so many big name people that people follow that they weren't anybody until COVID happened.
Yeah.
Not that being somebody on TikTok makes you somebody, but you know what I mean?
No, I totally know what you mean. Yeah.
But people who are successful on TikTok, I feel like they started when the pandemic started.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because before that, it was just like your 15-year-old niece is on
TikTok,
and then that's all it is.
And then overnight, we're all at home with nothing but our phones.
I know, and everyone's like, I'm not done with TikTok. And then it's like SpongeBob 3 months later. And it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. I love TikTok. And so I mean, if you have the mental capacity to try to do all of them at the same time, I would say try to do all of them at the same time.
Do you use the same source? Like you record, you edit one video. Are you posting that same video to each channel? Oh, okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah. So it's not really a lot more effort. Like you're not recording One video for TikTok,
No.
one for Insta.
So
Okay.
I record everything through like my actual camera app on my phone. I very rarely post or record stuff in like the TikTok app or like the Instagram app.
Got it. Okay.
Only if I'm like responding to a video and doing like where you can see my face and it's like so you can have that on there. And each platform has their own way of like doing things. So like on TikTok, you can't upload a video and then like, or you can't record some video and then upload a video too, if that makes sense.
Yes.
It has to all be the same. And so I've just found that if I record everything on my actual phone, edit it all on the app, and then upload it to each thing, then it's all cohesive amongst everything.
Okay.
And then each platform has their own like limits. So on TikTok, it's usually 3 minutes is the most you can upload unless you upload it from your computer. And then I think you can upload up to 10 minutes. So I try to keep everything under 3 minutes versus Instagram and Facebook, since they're connected, it's 90 seconds per reel.
Oh,
so
interesting.
If you look on my Instagram, there's a lot more posts, because I've done more on Instagram, but because every time I do a 3-minute TikTok, I have to split it into two.
Part 1 and 2.
I have to split it into part 1 and 2. And so I'm like, I'm not doing that because I'm trying to get more views. I literally have to do it that way.
Yes.
That's the only way to do it through Reels.
That's, it's funny. I had no idea that's why people did part 1 and 2.
Well, some people do it because they want more views.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So I try not to do that because it's like, I hate watching a video and it's like, go to part 2. And I'm like, you had 3 minutes. You couldn't get it in 3 minutes. And so, so it like is you kind of have to, those are things you kind of figure out along the way. And those weren't things I knew at the beginning. So, trying to be helpful.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you had to start from the ground up, brand new business, brand new everything, and you could pick one social media platform.
It's so hard. I don't know.
Is that too hard a question?
No, it's just there's different reasons.
It's like asking you to pick your kid. Which kid would you take with you to the new world?
I know, right? You're like, this one's really funny, but this one's really smart. I don't know.
Oh man.
I don't know. It's hard. So, like I said, my Instagram is my comfort. I think it's what I've done for so long. But I feel like you can grow faster on TikTok.
Is there a platform that maybe brings a little bit more value to the sales side of things?
I feel like, so I haven't started TikTok Shop yet. So I know a lot of people that are starting TikTok Shop are getting lots of sales from it, and they're doing really, really well. My shop's closed right now because we're getting ready to move. But I would say I get more sales probably on the Instagram side. So I feel
would that be because it's more set up for that?
Possibly.
Okay.
I feel like I do not a lot in my stories, but I feel like in my stories, for me personally on Instagram, I check stories more than I scroll my feed.
Same, yeah.
And so I can post more in my stories and people see it more versus stories on TikTok. I feel like people don't ever see them. You know what I mean?
Same.
So things that I want out, like, I'm having a sale right now, or I have some leftovers, like go get them right now. Those sales come from Instagram.
Okay, got it. Instagram stories
specifically. So I'm working on maybe doing TikTok Shop. So everything on TikTok Shop you have to make and send out within 3 days.
Oh, okay. So they're pretty quick.
Which is pretty quick. So I think moving forward, my shop reopens August 11th with Halloween. So I'm super excited about that. But I think I'm going to work on TikTok Shop after that, but only have sublimation designs available in
Got it.
TikTok
Those
Shop.
are much quicker.
You can make them much faster than you can vinyl.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned your move, which again, thank you so much for carving out the time to be here. I know moving kind of sucks.
It does. It sucks so much.
Yeah. Moving is terrible.
I spent like $100 on boxes at Walmart like 2 days ago. And I was like, this is so dumb. I
bought boxes that were too big at Home Depot.
Oh yeah.
Thinking, I'm going to save money, buy less boxes, but the weight of everything caused the bottom to cave out. Yeah. So yeah. New mover. Yeah. Fail right there. So you guys are moving.
We are.
Question. What? Yeah. And if you feel okay sharing.
Yeah.
Like, is this like a business move behind it? Like, how is it affecting 3 pairs of ears?
Yeah. So 3 pairs of ears is going to be better than ever. It's gonna be great. The business will keep going. It's not affecting that at all. It's expensive to live in Southern California.
Truth.
And I make cups for a living.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of cups.
It's a lot of cups. And so we moved here in 2016, and we lived in Dallas before here. And when we sold our house, it was like going to cost double the amount to buy a house here at the time. Yeah. And that was kind of like out more than we were wanting to spend. So we started renting. And we've been renting. And then when COVID happened, we were like high-fiving that we were renting because we thought like nobody's working, nothing is happening. The housing market is going to crash, and this is going to be our opportunity to buy a house.
Same.
And the exact opposite happened. If anybody knows why that is, you just let me know because
let me know who to beat up.
Yeah, because I don't know who made these rules, but they're dumb.
Yeah.
So the house prices, at least in our area, they more than doubled.
Yeah.
We are, and the current interest rates, I think it's 7.2%, which is outrageous.
Yeah. I think I was watching the news. They're saying that in most cities, it is not only cheaper to rent than to buy. Yeah. It is much cheaper to rent than to buy.
It is.
In this current state.
It is. Unfortunately, landlords are getting kind of greedy. And we moved last year. Our previous landlord moved back. We didn't think he was ever going to move back. And so he moved back. And so we had to quickly find a place to live in the middle of like the biggest, like this was like March of last year when like house prices were at like an all-time high and everybody was like buying everything.
Yeah.
So we found a house, and after living there a year, our landlord already like increased our rent by like a significant amount. Oh, wow. And so we were just like, we can't keep doing this. You know what I mean? And so we decided
California be crazy, dude.
They're so crazy. Yeah. We absolutely love it here. We are so sad to go. But unfortunately, if you were a first-time home buyer, Southern California, maybe all of California, it's just too much right now.
Yeah.
So we're moving to Florida.
Yeah. Moving from one Disney to another.
We are, but it's like polar opposite of California. Yeah. But we're super excited. I think it'll be fun. I already bought my annual pass. Okay. I haven't bought my kids' annual passes yet to Walt Disney World.
I don't need them.
But I already bought mine. So I mean, I'm super excited. We're like 30 minutes away.
Well, you're getting 4 times as many parks. Or no, double the parks because we have 2.
Yeah. But like I saw a statistic the other day that said that Disneyland and California Adventure will fit in the parking lot of Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I haven't been to Disney World since I was like 17.
It's pretty amazing.
I'm due for another trip for sure.
I know. Yeah. So I'm so excited. I actually haven't been to Animal Kingdom yet. So I'm like, that's the only one I haven't been to yet.
It's changed so much since I've been.
So I'm super excited to go. But I mean, I'm really excited to kind of like draw inspiration out of Walt Disney World. Like I don't know it like I know Disneyland. So Disneyland, it feels like my home. So I was actually just there yesterday with my kid,
nice.
with one of my kids. And so we have like 2 visits left before we move. And so I'm a little emotional over it. It's hard to say goodbye. I know it's not goodbye, it's see you later, but it's just like, it's hard. So it's new journeys and
but then I imagine though with the move there's gonna be a lot more opportunity for growth.
It is
for not just for your business but even for like family, even for your life. I feel
it is. So we bought a house and
congratulations!
Thank you. So we're so excited.
Yes,
we actually we're so excited. So I feel like it's going to give us so many more opportunities. It was so much cheaper than buying a house here. So then it just opened up possibilities of more things that we can do and, you know, and stuff. And so we're so excited for that.
Man, I'm so happy for you guys. That really is awesome.
Thank you. We're super, super, super stoked.
So what's on the horizon? So when does, actually it'll probably be open by the time this episode airs.
Okay.
But just for my sake, when is 3 Pairs of Ears reopening?
We're reopening Friday, August 11th. Which
Beautiful.
is like 2-3 weeks from tomorrow.
Something like that.
3 weeks from tomorrow. Yeah, something like that, I think. So super excited. I have Halloween will be the first thing that comes out.
Very cool.
That probably will be all that's on my website when I open. But I'm super excited. Halloween is my favorite release. It's the biggest release of the year. It's the release that I sell the most of every year.
Nice.
For some reason, it's been like that since 2020.
Very cool.
I know. So I usually start working on Halloween like in January.
Nice. Okay.
Like super early.
We just did an episode of all of our live streams today.
Okay.
Was all about like, hey, it's July. Today's episode was called Christmas in July.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, if you haven't thought about Christmas yet, you're almost too late, buddy.
I know.
Basically encouraging people to like, you really when you're in like this industry, right, where you're making things handmade or even like t-shirts. I'm a t-shirt guy.
Yeah.
You really have to think about 6 to 9 months ahead, like
You really
easily.
do.
Yeah.
I start saving designs or kind of like getting stuff like in my head, like what I want to do. And then I created all of my stuff in June and July. And everything is like photoed, edited. It's most of it is on the website, just like no one else can see it except for me.
Okay, nice.
You know what I mean?
Nice,
So
yeah.
I have it all ready to go, especially with the move.
Mhm.
It's like I needed to have everything ready to go. So that once I move, I can just be like, okay, it's all ready, you know?
Yeah.
And then yesterday I was like working on Christmas.
So you're a big planner.
I am. I
Okay.
feel like I thrive on organization.
Yes.
But that's
man. I wish I had that. Oh my gosh.
Everything needs a place. Like I just feel like I can get so much more work done when I have things like kind of set in order. And I think that's why people like my videos. People love like the organization of it all.
It's very,
you know
very
what
clean,
I mean?
very nice.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I promise that's really how I operate. That isn't like that isn't not real.
Yeah, it's not just for the camera.
It's not. That's honestly how I work, and I like it that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, okay. Now before we let you go, you got to tell us. So where can everybody find you? Where can everybody get a hold of 3 Pairs of Ears? Obviously, well, again, by the time this airs, you'll be open again.
Yeah. So it is this. My handle is the same on all platforms. So it's at 3 Pairs of Ears. 3 is spelled out. So THREE Pairs of Ears. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads. I have a YouTube channel. There's like 3 videos on there. Nothing amazing. And then 3pairsoferears.com.
Awesome.
Is where everything is.
Awesome. Do you have any? Okay, now I got to ask this. Now, last season, this is season 2 of Customizing Culture, the podcast.
Fun. Awesome. Congratulations.
So thank you so much for coming by the way.
Yes, of course.
Last season, we would close with one question. And this season, I have to ask, like, if you could impart like just one piece of wisdom to the startups out there, people who are just like, they're on the verge, they have the idea.
Yeah.
They haven't started the channel yet. They haven't started the videos yet. You know, if you can give them one piece of advice, what would that be?
I would say create stuff that makes you happy. Create something that you want to use. Because chances are if you want to use it, then someone else will want to use it.
Maybe 19 million people want to see it.
And maybe 19 people would want to see it because that would be awesome.
Dude, honestly, Lauren, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, for taking a break from your big move.
Yes, it was good to get out, to curl my hair.
Oh, good, okay.
You know what I mean? Not have on like
I don't curl mine out.
I know. It was good to have a break from the madness that I'm currently living in. So.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again. We wish you the absolute best of luck.
Thank you.
On your move, your new journey.
Thank
and hope you have some good times.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you again for watching this episode or listening to this episode of Customizing Culture, the Heat Press Nation podcast. Once again, my name is Jared Barbosa, and today I was joined very special guest, Lauren Meystedt of 3 Pairs of Ears. We'll see you around.